have barely introduced any of our main characters yet. We've introduced Ezio. We've hinted at who's going to be in the story. A lot of the Ottoman royal family and other Turkish and Greek characters. But we really haven't introduced people to them yet. We're actually being pretty secretive about the actual story because unlike, especially Brotherhood, where it had a very clear bad guy, Cesare Borgia, our game is much more like almost like a film noir, right? It's a mystery. And so we don't want to reveal a whole lot about our story.
Bring me his head, or throw yourselves into the canyon!
Go! Get the bastard!
I think we've always done a pretty good job of mixing the two, the game and the story, into one big experience, and fans seem to like it a lot. Our stories are always fairly lengthy, around 15 hours, I'd say, and then it has lots of extra side content, and that's kind of where we're hitting for. It's maybe an ambitious goal, maybe it doesn't satisfy everyone all the time, but it satisfies a lot of people a lot of the time. We're all big proponents of the idea that the story has to stem in large part from the game mechanics. Whatever your mechanic is, you have to justify why you're using it all the time. So Assassin's Creed, what we've done is we have running, parkour, jumping, assassinating. But we also have lots of other little things, surprises, especially in every game. We always have surprises, little special things you do. And we've come up with a story that, Templars versus Assassins set in history, usually set amid some sort of turmoil and a war, some conflict, that we feel like we do a pretty good job making the story and the gameplay fit together. If you want to play a game where you kill as few people as possible and just your assassination targets, we try to make that possible so that you really feel like I am an assassin doing this. But of course there's some people who just kill everything in sight, and it's because it's a game and they're allowed to do that.
From the dawn of time to the end of days, I will have to run.
After the success of Assassin's Creed 1, everyone started getting bigger plans about where this series could go. And the writers at the time who were working on Assassin's Creed 2 had mapped out a much longer lifeline for Ezio. And the decision was made to make a game that fit a certain time period, but they had all this extra story they wanted to tell, and it became, to create a new character takes a lot longer. You need to put a lot of thought into that. You need to do a lot of research. We had this excellent character, Ezio, that we liked, and they just felt like let's keep that going. Let's use all the research that we've done, and let's keep going with it. Nobody knew that it was going to be as popular as it was while they were making Assassin's Creed 1. So I think maybe they hadn't planned that far ahead, let's make eight games with this amazing guy. But it turns out everyone loved Assassin's Creed 1, the character and the setting. Once the series was a success, they started focusing a lot more on developing the characters in more depth. And so that's what we've done with Ezio. We've actually taken him from birth to, in Revelations, he'll be 52. And then in the short movie that we're coming out with after this, Embers takes place about 12 years after Assassin's Creed Revelations. So we see Ezio at about age 64. So from 0 to 64, it's one of the first characters, I think, in video game history to really age that much and really to go that far into detail about his life. And I think that's, I hope, going forward in the future, whenever that new things happen, I hope that's a pattern we stick with, because it's very, very fulfilling.
Sayun Auditore! Word around the city is you're leaving us.
Is nothing I do a secret.
Not to worry, brother. The captain of your ship is a friend, but neither of you are going anywhere just yet.
We want our mysterious character to have been present during a number of famous historical events. Not necessarily because we want them to be responsible for them, but because we, as game designers and lovers of history, we want to be able to recreate these famous periods, and show them to fans from the inside, So the Pazzi conspiracy, or Cesare Borgia, or in our game, young Suleiman the Magnificent, right? 8 years before he becomes Sultan. We like putting a player right there in that period so that they can experience that as if they were there.
You are Ezio Auditore.
See. Sorry for the delay.